9. That's Balls in the top lane, Rush in the jungle, Jensen in mid, Sneaky at 80 carry, Bunny Fufu at support, and Coach Lemon Nation.
And on the red side, it's Immortals. Up top is Hooney in the jungle, Rainover. Mid Pobelter, 80 carry, Wild Turtle, support Adrian, and Coach Dylan.
I'm excited. It's game 2. I'm still excited. It's going to last for a while. I'm going to be excited all season long. Yeah. It could be like 72 minutes like the Brazilian league just had.
Yeah. I mean, they've been stacking 5 dragons pretty much every single game over there. See if we follow suit here.
It could, but on the past one, we were like, oh, these won't be 5 dragon games. This won't happen. We're going to 5 dragon first game.
Well, I feel like any game that rushes in will be accelerated. So we'll see what kind of pace they do want to set.
Rainover said he's a little worried about Rush's aggressive style of jungling. Rainover being very supportive for his lanes and whatnot, but still has his own aggression. We know him still to go hard. We'll see how that fares up against Rush. We talked a little bit about Bunny Fufu kind of taking the reins at support. There have been some kind of big shoes there in Lemon Nation to fill as well in the kind of supports they've switched around on.
Yeah, every Cloud9 that has been a Cloud9 without High has failed. So
that's true.
We'll see if they can make it work without him in the starting lineup here. As I said, he's still working with the team, very closely with Bunny Fufu. See how they come out.
You have to imagine a guy that can come back and, number one, Jensen had the same faith in him that the whole team had the last time he came back, and that's what helped them get through. And 2, they want him so bad and they can keep him because he's so well with the Cloud9 organization that he goes to support because he still provides so much. So we'll see what they can do without him as these bans go down. They've already chosen Alistar and Fiora to the Mr. Kench and Lulu of Immortals here. Their first game on the stage.
Still up, Rise still up, Lissandra. Maybe we will get to see some Graves jungle.
I'd love it. Saw some Poppy as well. If somebody's going to be crazy enough to go support Poppy. Noxiac did it.
That's the game plan, yeah.
All right, so Lissandra and GP. We were thinking that one was going to be on the list. Balls will take Rise right off the bat. We'll see if that's actually his or, like you said, that flex pick.
Yeah, Jensen has been one of the guys who's had the most improvement since he came over to North America.
I second that, Kobe.
Definitely excited for his 2016 self.
He is or you are?
I am. I'm pretty sure he is as well.
I would be too. You could play against a lot of awesome people here as well.
We've collected so many high-powered Danish mid laners in North America now. We've got the Triumvirate, Jensen, Froggen, as well as, of course, Bjergsen.
Taking their time on the side of Immortals. You see some chat definitely coming in from Rainover. Looks like he'll be picking for himself and Turtle. So they don't show too much. They do take the 80 carry. That's going to be Lucian as well. Not
giving away really anything here. Very versatile early picks here from Immortals. Rainover going to be on the classic Rek'Sai. Should be very comfortable there. Corki is also still a really big pick that's up. Cloud9 have already locked in Rise, though, so showing pretty heavy magic focus there. If then they also decide to try and add on Corki, who's so strong on this patch, then we may get to see one of those AD junglers round out that damage composition.
Lee Sin.
Well, he doesn't have to early pick anything.
No, he doesn't have to with that Rek'Sai showing.
Your wish is granted.
Granted. Yeah. All right.
Woo! And the instant Soraka hover here from Adrian. Insta-tilt. Braum is actually
we already heard Dash's love for that.
Decent at all-inning Soraka. We shall see, though.
Janna.
Another Twisted Fate pickup here.
All right.
I like Janna pickup. Now, they've actually been able to combo Rek'Sai ulti with Twisted Fate ultimate here, so very big cross-map pressure here from Immortals already.
Eyes on Bunny Fufu on your screen there, and Lemon Nation both share the same position and love for support. What will that choice be? Actually, they already have Braum making a point. Already picked.
Yeah. Support's all locked in already.
Does he have the calls they're looking for as well? Haven't heard that too many other people are that vocal. Except for High, really, when he got to the team. Sneaky to lock what in for this game? Like you said, that Corki is still open.
So here's the thing. When I have Rush on my team and Rush is already on Lee Sin, I would think to pick something to try and pressure Twisted Fate here and keep Pope Elder down, because You can work with Rush early on, and there it is, an Assassin, it looks like. Probably going to be that mid echo here from Jensen. Pressure Twisted Fate is the name of the game. Going to try and combo that Lee Sin and Echo early, it looks like. Miss Fortune still picked up on 6.1 here. Now, for the previous ones on 6.1, even with the gigantic nerfs to the damage on her E, I've still been seeing people max it. I'm very curious to see if anyone will, buck that trend and go back to the Q max, since there were such substantial nerfs to her E damage. The ultimate is still a huge source of damage and a very, very wide source of zone control here.
Very interesting. I always wondered what would make her viable again, and they seem to have done it. It's not too scary of a team as well to have to stand still and use your ultimate. It might be, though, with that Cho'Gath being locked in. It's going to be very hard for a bullet time to come off now.
Interesting little adaptation here. As you see, so Cloud9, they locked in with the Braum in the round before locking in MF so that they were sure that a Braum Unbreakable will not counter the MF ultimate. But Huni can actually get past that. If you rupture on the ground behind him where MF is standing, you don't have to go through the Braum to stop MF ultimate. Nice little last pick adaptation there from Immortals. We'll see how it does also against Rise here. Cho'Gath does have very good sustain, shoves the lane constantly though.
Interesting pick as well, seeing that TF, the Rek'Sai, the Reignover, the Rek'Sai, and the Janna. Howling Gales can hit you as well from that range, so gonna have to be very choosy and picky with his ultimates from Miss Fortune. Sneaky's gonna have his work cut out for him here. Elimination. A few final words for the team as they are preparing to head off the stage and allow game number 2 of the Spring Split to start off. We're gonna see, we heard Reignover talking about Rush's jungle prowess. We'll see if he can put up a good game of his own.
Mid lane, that's where I got my eyes. Maybe we'll see the double pink ward on both sides, constantly fighting over killing those wards.
TF.
The strongest part about pink wards is they take 5 hits to kill in the early game. It's so dangerous to try and clear them.
So the champs are on the board and the game's about to go live. Tell us who you think is going to come out on top. Hashtag C9 win or hashtag IMT win to LOL Esports. Cloud9 and Immortals about to go at it. We've been hearing a lot, Kobe, about this Immortals team. They're ranked up near the top. Their scrims are this and that. Anybody that puts Cloud9 over Immortals is yada yada. I mean, we're about to see it right now.
So, yeah, I mean, it's always really fun in the offseason, to try and get your power rankings down and base everything off of what you heard from scrims. But hearing things from scrim is so unreliable. Very glad that we're actually going to see some right now. Because, you can hear people talk about, oh, yeah, they won X scrim, and then they got destroyed by these guys in different scrim. But you need to see how the games are playing out and the actual plays inside and who is executing well, and if it's actually a problem, with the strategy, or if they're testing things out. Scrim's very, very unreliable, but exciting nonetheless. Let's see here. Very standard opening. Sneaky and Bunny going to walk up to the top side, though. Maybe we'll have a bit of a delayed invade. They're just going to go for the blind lane swap.
Minions have spawned.
Everything's super safe for now. Nobody wanting to give up too much.
Should be the double jungle here. Immortals' bottom lane is going to take the Gromp for themselves. They won't have any information until Cloud9 do show. They haven't walked over any wards yet. And it looks like they will be able to keep Rise away from Cho'Gath.
Walk in fully on this one, see what kind of pressure they can get on.
Oh, Smite was already used. This is a pure auto attack fight to try and get the last hit. Oh, Reignover's going for it.
I don't know if he knows. Oh, good step by Huni there. Putting his big old Cho'Gath butt in the way.
The Void Monster combo, Huni and Reignover. Bros from Europe
so close.
Are able to get both Krugs.
Bunny Fufu doesn't need to do much here. He's doing what he needs to in the lane by himself. And we also have a roam from Adrian here. He knows there's a bunch of funny stuff going on up top, so he's going to use this time to get himself in as well and allow Wild Turtle some of that solo XP.
Let's see how they move Huni down to the bottom lane here. Not going to leave him double jungling, soaking up the small amounts of extra experience. Meanwhile,
a few pings there in the jungle.
Cloud9 are going to try and push it down quickly.
Same thing in the bot lane here. Looks like they're trying to get a mirror going on, but it is going to be an invade coming in. We'll see if it's going to be the same from Rush. He should know to do it.
Yeah.
once these lanes are
The
swapped.
thing I'm definitely looking at is, you know, the Echo versus Twisted Fate matchup. Usually Twisted Fate can abuse his ranged harass versus melee champions, but Echo's Q is so long range, it's so good at clearing the wave that Jensen can even clear backlane minions fairly easily, even when they do get pushed up to the turret. Pobelter, though, has it in a very nice spot right now, just in front of his turret, so he can go for that harass without worrying about jungle pressure. Meanwhile, Jensen actually does kind of have to worry, since Reignover has not shown on the mini-map down bottom pushing.
Very true. Very true. And they may actually know where Rush is as well from the way that Jensen just played that. He hovered very hard to the Raptor side with not big of a minion wave. So Reignover gets red, and we'll head back towards his side. Looks like quite even in the start of this game. We get 3 in each lane, wait for a few waves, get that turret down the top side. The bottom one should be a little bit slower.
I like the complete disregard for early
faster,
dragon.
I should say. Top should
the
be
early
slower.
dragon is there for the taking, but it takes so much of your health and time this early in the game. Simply not worth it. The buff would do not enough, and they need to keep up in levels farming elsewhere.
Rush hasn't even really gone to the bottom side of his jungle yet. Staying towards that top.
Yeah, you do not want to.
he-
In a lane swap situation,
He's staying with balls.
you forfeit that
That's
side
no
of
problem.
the map.
He knows he needs to do so.
Both teams have been content to split the map at the top and bottom side. Nobody going for any of those risky plays.
Reignover staying
Ooh.
out quite long.
And a miss.
Hey, it happens. We're all humans. Maybe to some of us more than often.
Now,
More often than not, I should say.
especially in Korea, when we were seeing a lot of the lane swaps, there have been kind of a dead period, but the second and inhibitor turrets are significantly weaker. So, thinking,
true, none of those
wondering if we
shields.
will see people after lane swaps, after the outer ones are down, which are stronger, if teams will start to try and pressure those inner ones while they're squishy. Not so far yet, and Ball's going to back off from the top lane. He's not going to get caught in that pinch. Same thing for Huni. He's already vacated the area. He's already rotated up top. And he's coming up here for the tower bounce. Mirrored starts from both sides. Just that Immortals are about 15 seconds ahead of Cloud9 in their swap right now, as Huni is going to arrive first.
Shouldn't be too bad. Power farming coming in from Reignover as he goes through the jungles now, as we saw him just on the top side to help take down that top turret. Good double the CS right now of Rush, as he's been kind of thrown off in that early game and then trying to find things happening in the lanes. But with these pushes going on, there's nobody to gank. So it's all about the neutral camps for those guys. Still in that mid lane, 38 to 38. It just ticks up one and the other. Still Ignite, still Flash up. Could see some volatile play here as 6 hits for Jensen.
Yeah, I mean, these few seconds that Immortals are ahead of Cloud9 in the swap might mean that they do get the jump here. Huni's got his wave in a nice spot. Cloud9 give the local gold over to Balls. So he will keep up. Tier completed, stacking already.
Definitely good for Balls to have a clean early game. We saw him be the target of a lot of Worlds play, and he would have a troubled time just swapping back and forth to lane. Just 1 CS when everybody else is level 4, level 5. This time he's gotten off a bit cleaner. Let's see what he can produce with that rise. The phase dive goes in, a third attack, but Jensen, I don't know if he really liked that trade as much. He still has Chrono Break to save himself, but it definitely wasn't his advantage right off the bat. Rush found by Reignover. No level discrepancy there, just a bit of gold.
Yep. Pobelter giving as good as he got there in the trade on the retreat here. Defensive pink wards are out for Immortals. Up and across the river. So dangerous to even try and stick around for 5 autos to clear those. Sneaky actually walks by that one. He's going for this kill. When he sees it coming though, there's no interrupts on MF, so easy teleport out. Big cooldown not available though. Whereas Balls is standing safely at his turret. Not in range of experience, but also not going to have to burn his teleport. See if Rush can get down here in time, because Balls can't hold it by himself. He definitely needs support. Support is on the way.
Nice little roll dash. The dive out by Jensen. They know that Cho'Gath is now mid lane with that TP down. by the call of Sneaky, so they can put a little bit more resource down in this bot lane. Rainover gets locked down there by a Rune Prison, but there's not enough mana to finish up or attack to really get to him.
Cloud9 really need to recoup this gold at the turret. They are suffering heavily in the gold game here. This is a bigger difference than our last game. Now that Immortals are relieving that pressure on the big wave, though, they should be able to get it.
There's the dive. They may go on this one now, but they don't have the rupture. Just back and forth, trying to get the right moment here as Immortals goes across the map side to side. Gate comes in. They finally get down under Jensen. And Chrono Break puts him even deeper into the fight, and he goes down. First blood going in for Immortals.
You can regain some life, but that distance loss, not worth it there. Goes down with the cooldown on his ultimate now, and first blood on top of the already CS advantage here for Immortals. Rainover power farming and out farming Rush on Lee Sin. Rek'Sai doing what she does best. Let's see if Sneaky's flank here amounts to anything.
Sneaky just got that
There's
top wave nice and pushed, so it called Huhi to the top side. It could be a kill now. It'll really pay off if they're able to get it, especially for Sneaky. And he just opens up with the ultimate on the last sliver of health, but saves Rush's life as well.
All right, no MF ultimate now for Cloud9. They do strike back, but this gold lead significant now. As Immortals did get that first blood bonus, and see if they can control mid lane now. Jensen's actually come back. Hard farming here from Rainover. He's gone that route. Ooh. It is definitely paying off. He is currently 1,000 gold ahead of Rush. That is where pretty much all of the gold, most of the gold, is sitting for Immortals. Rainover, since he also got that first blood, that's a very big part of it.
Kind of doing his own thing as well.
Yep.
And then when the team has to move together, they move together. That's where we saw first blood. And then back to their own thing.
Lane swap CS also going in their favor, so in the opening, very calm, but Immortals favored.
Oh yeah, Kobe? Well, it doesn't say that.
Close vote. It is close still. See that first ultimate from Pobelter here. I mean the second, of course. They just used the first one on
A few more plays coming from the hands of him. Looks like it's going to be a stacking game as Rod of Ages is the choice of purchase for both Pobelter and Huni here.
This is that dead zone that we were talking about in the lane swaps. Seeing so much injury after the lane swaps. Trying to control the waves, not venture too deep in enemy territory. You know, the vision, it's so easy to keep up defensive vision, while offensive vision is made much more risky. Both junglers, once again, every single game in North America so far, got the trackers.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. 2 last game, 2 this game as well. A Cinderhulk and a Warrior for Rush. Loves doing his damage. See where they decide to bring their damage. Another thing I like to look at this Immortal teams is Pobelter and Turtle have always been on teams where they have these teammates that shadow them, or overshadow them, I should say, not shadow them. But you have Darshan, you had Double Lift on CLG with Pobelter, while Turtle was there with Bjergsen. Now these guys might have a time to shine. That is if Rainover doesn't keep taking everything.
I mean,
but it's a chance.
Yeah, Turtle's doing really well for himself. Ahead in farm, plus has the wave in a very cushy spot.
Right.
Meanwhile, Cloud9 are trying to funnel money into balls. Doing the same thing here, holding it right in front of the turret. Big difference there, obviously, is the top laner does have teleport. Could join if something does break out in the mid lane.
Right.
Again, defensive Pink's doing everything, and everybody concentrating on farming the waves. Actually, both teams here, since Pobelter is waiting for his Rod of Ages to stack up, while Balls is waiting for his tier. Leading Rod.
Yep. Something else we've been seeing since they've been changed is Swifties. Sneaky just picked himself up a pair on Misfortune.
Just so efficient.
They are very nice.
MF is heavily caster based. Don't miss out much on the loss of attack speed
from the
by
Zerker
not
Greaves.
going Zerker Greaves. So wants to get in position, pop off the E ultimate combo, and then run away from whoever's diving him.
Yep.
Cloud9 were able to sneak that dragon while the waves are pushed up. That's basically the main thing in this mid game to keep your eyes on. People are just soft shoving waves, try and push them away from their side, and then everyone gets way too hesitant since the defensive lines of Vision are up with the pink wards, to go too far. And they took that opportunity, snagged the dragon. It'll be a small benefit. Maybe it will bloom into a larger benefit, as we've seen if the game does go.
Oh, where are you headed, Rain over? Looks like he goes towards the top side here.
Number two.
Could be a womp for balls on this one. There's the rupture. So much follow-up crowd control. I think Rain over already used a tunnel, and he actually pulls down as well to make sure nobody else is coming. Get the wave pushed. Just all around great play by Immortal.
Yeah, and all that they have to give up is mid-lane wave, and the wave even gets soaked up as Turtle goes over. Rush actually picking a fight with his top laner down.
It's like the one guy standing in the forest that you find and he just starts fighting you. Looked like he lagged out for a second, but he was just poised, waiting for the battle.
Rise, such an easy target though. That was a really easy call there for Immortals to all collapse there. You have to respect that Twisted Fate. Talking about the second Twisted Fate ultimate. Very easy, and the Cho'Gath combo, as we talked about, very easy to land on Rise as well. Immortals with a very strong start to this game.
Maybe this is what everybody was kind of talking about. Take control of the game very early in small steps here and there. Catch you when you're not really expecting it. Put yourself in the lead. 2K gold lead so far. That is on Rainover and Pobelter. A few assists across the rest of the board, so everybody's got participation in this one. Does not suck for Immortals so far going into this one. Cloud9, a lot of room to work with here still. I think Rush was thrown off his early game just a little bit, and we actually haven't seen him be able to make too many plays.
Yeah, lane swapping against Rush, one of the strongest early strategies that we saw last season.
Yeah.
Versus him. Try and take away some of the early pressure. Hasn't been able to get much done. Rainover happy to farm up here on the Rex side. Cinder Hook start playing dividends. Here goes the stun on Huni though.
C9 closing very late. Braum and MF are far away on this one. Sneaky and Adrian have a way to run. They already took down Huni though, looking pretty good. Balls comes in with the ultimate on, and they try to focus back onto him. Here's the ultimate from Sneaky, but it just hits the uprights perfectly, and nobody takes any damage. It's going to be Wild Turtle finally going down as it just becomes a mess and a chaotic
There's a couple
fight.
of Rush plays for you. Let's see what Cloud9 can get off of the back, because they need to make up some of this gold here. Her turret gold would go a long way for them.
Jensen getting the gold card out, but it doesn't really stop any of the aggression that Immortals is going to put out. The rest of the team wants to pull back. Low mana, low health,
Yeah,
but an aggressive fight in the mid lane there.
Pobelter and Adrian up, so Janna to shield the turret and TF to wave clear means they're not able to get anything off of it. All right, so Jensen goes in for the stun. Rush goes back to try and put the insect on Huni. And then there's minions in the way, so he couldn't throw his Q earlier.
There you
Doesn't
go.
get it that time. The Monsoon actually knocked him to the side just out of the culling. Balls comes in with a huge explosion of damage, plus Sneaky edge for bullet time. And the heal. Gonna save Rush.
See where these went. Picking up a few kills. We just saw it, but once it pans out, 2 kills for Sneaky. Essence Reaver already finished. It's very nice for him. He'll start putting out a lot more damage as well. We saw what happened with Balls there once he got in unnoticed for a second. Was just wiping out Immortals. So a little bit better positioning by them. They'll be better off in the fights, but Cloud9 may have found some of their openings during those turret pushes.
Yeah, the main thing is that a lot of this money for Immortals, the gold lead that they have, is in secure gold. It's in all this minion farm and the first blood bonus, which doesn't leave a big opening for Cloud9 to get back. You know, other gold sources like a bunch of kill streaks, Cloud9 can turn it around quickly, or a bunch of turrets down. Cloud9 can strike back and try and take turrets after a team fight. But here we go.
This is when they don't have a turret to fight under, and I may have been eating crow on this one. Immortals goes for another siege on the turret, and this one is going picture perfect. Everybody tanking that needs to be tanking. Huni gets in on that one first to make sure he's that target, and they come up with some nice kills. 5-3 now, and a 5K gold lead.
That was just the slow steamroller. Immortals move right over Cloud9 through the turret. They grab it, extra kills on top, and this lead ballooning very quickly now.
Pretty relentless. Once Immortals gets a hold of the game, they just keep going. They're going to clear this ward, clear
Such
the blue.
measured play from them.
Yeah. It is, though. It's a good way to put it. Definitely doesn't seem like they're pushing themselves into any dangerous spots while these plays are happening. And right now, 4 turrets to 2, 5 to 3. We'll see how this happens once again. Very low.
It's that
C9's still there.
Cho'Gath lands the rupture into a full culling on Jensen, so he's out of the fight. Then Bunny Fufu on the front lines, locked down. Another double rupture there from Huni on the Cho'Gath, set up very easily by the gold card.
Unfortunate situations. Jensen there was just like dying to press Chrono Break because his shadow went through the entire team, but Cloud9 had already lost 3 members. It would have been much more fortunate if they had a few more seconds on those guys.
Huni just rocking that Cho'Gath pick.
He is coming up huge. And it was the last one, too. They rounded it out. They let Huni say, what did you want? What do you want around this team composition out with? And he said, you know what? Give me Cho'Gath.
Yeah, he's got great setup. I mean, the only hard part about Cho'Gath is landing those abilities, but a Rek'Sai Flash Unburrow or a gold card from Twisted Fate are great setups. And both result in kills. Here comes another dragon here for Cloud9. Are they going to get caught, though?
Oh, they're trying to put their foot down.
Oh, juicy.
I don't think it's going to work. There's the scream across the team, and that's going to be Bunny Fufu. He is down. Sneaky's down. That's ball's hitting the ground, and it is going to be Dragon going over to Immortals. Fight after fight. They continue to give Cloud9 a hard time.
After the back and forth of last game, this is just brutal to watch.
Yeah.
The slow, methodical play of Immortals here, just crushing Cloud9. Trying to start off the dragon, and that was rough. Now they've dug a very deep hole for themselves. See if they can claw their way out with some sort of, I don't know. They don't even have the cross-map advantage here. You know, Twisted Fate and Rek'Sai for Immortals is just so hard to even pick somebody off. If you try and pick someone off for Immortals, not only is Rain over tanky, you know, Huni's semi-tanky, but they've got 2 people that are going to be able to join from anywhere. Makes it very hard to even go for like risky bush plays, vision plays with True Sight, and here come Immortals.
This is what you're talking about. Looking for the catches, but there's going to be more members of Immortals here as soon as it happens. Bunny Fufu, Unbreakable goes up, and that's a culling down. It does not deter them from going for the engage. Wow, Turtle gets out of that fight nicely. Rush on the wrong side. Turtle still now. Balls toe-to-toe, and he's forced to flash over the wall. The relentless pursuit from Turtle, and he's the only one on the front line right now. The team says, whoa, we want Baron. Turn around, Turtle. Nice plays on that one. Listens to the team, and they head for the objective.
That should be secure for them, unless Boss comes up with a hero play here. So business as usual here for Immortals, it looks like. Talking about the scrims, they were not overrated.
I was about to say that. We have a long season to go. A game is a game, and you can show well in a game, but to show well in the start of your LCS split with people who have been on the stage, but an entirely new team and communication, this is pretty impressive.
And again, it's not just that they're winning, it's the very clean way in which they're doing it.
We'll see if they can keep it up, and we'll see if the closeout factor stays at the same caliber, because some people start to falter at that point.
It is so scary now for Cloud9 to go anywhere on the map. 2 Frostwing Flame have been completed. Huni's got one as well. If you get tagged by one of those spooky ghosts, you get a Rupture, you get the rest of this crowd control stacking on you, and Immortals just with a very secure team fight right now, and so many options for picking anyone off. And they can end this game almost any way that they want.
And we basically came into this one as soon as we saw the Catalyst to protect. Oh, so close. Jensen squeezes tight, gets out of that one. It was close because we said it's going to be a stacking game. Immortals is going to take a little bit longer to go through this, but they started with the Rod of Ages immediately and still put aggression onto the map. They didn't wait for anything.
Yeah, buffed up the stats on that thing right when you get it. And just very efficient. See what they can do with this Baron buff, though. Split push is in the works. Huni down bottom. They don't even need to wait for him to get up to the turret. Mid lane goes down.
So much authority right now as they head down the mid wave. They already got Huni on the bot side, as you were saying. It's easy peasy there for them, as well as they can just deter everything in the middle of this map as well in the jungle. 9-3, a 12,000 gold lead, just about 1,000 I should say actually, in favor of Immortals here. They're looking to close this one out very clean. Baroned up as they hit the inhibitors.
Huni gonna try and zone here with Cho'Gath. All right, Cloud9 needed a huge combo.
Those minions aren't going anywhere. One Scream, one Light Slinger. Every minion's cleaned out. Huni and Wild Turtle can just sit here and stop these waves if they wanted to. But they have the full team. There's one Spooky Ghost. Really trying to deter. They understand that Cloud9 can still put up a pretty tough fight if they dive under this turret. So you can see Immortals still giving that bit of respect.
Yeah, it's Cloud9 still struggling with that wave clear too. They have so much magic wave clear. MF having to auto these things down is taking a significant toll on the turret, already down to half HP. And Immortals slowly but surely.
All right, is this the one?
Whittling it down. They're not even having Cobelter split push.
This damage.
They can just walk their way in.
It's going to follow through to a fight if they stay here. Balls gets some hit down onto Rainover. Huni very, very low, and he gets taken down by the Sidewinders. It comes back from Jensen. Pole bouncer hit up by the Fisher. Oh, but the stop from Howling Gale onto Sneaky's ultimate. Adrian with a huge play. Pole bouncer goes down to Jensen, dives in melee range. He goes down himself. Turtle got 3 in the Light Slinger, but he can't get the range. Unbreakable's up. Nothing's going to pass the wall, but Immortals is inside the base. The shot on the stairs of the fountain as Balls is reaching for the health.
We are past 20 minutes. They're coming out fast with home guards here. Rush.
That's true. It's a good point.
Trying to save.
There's the heal. There's the home guards. Immortal get through one of the inhibitors. Not enough HP or damage to get through the rest of the Nexus, but they got lanes to go. More lanes, and they're going to head right for them. 50 seconds on Dragon might be a next objective.
Spotlight on Adrian for that last fight. Kept hold of his abilities, waiting for Sneaky to fire off the Misfortune ultimate, and he steps in as soon as it goes. So look at Huni here, because Jensen just takes him out. Big burst, Sneaky's able to finish the job, and then it looks like Cloud9 are going to be able to take this down, but instant cancel there from Adrian. He actually then also ulties and cancels that early. Maybe could have got a little more healing out of it, but he was able to knock back the damage dealers long enough, and Turtle able to flip the switch. Go aggressive here to finish. Balls on the steps of the fountain.
Woo! That's a pretty intense fight. I'm surprised Cloud9 stayed for that, actually. They got a few good hits in there, but the stop, that's exactly what Cloud9 needed, was that bunch up for the MF ultimate. And Adrian said, no, thank you. They get clear through the inhibitor on that one. The Baron power play, you can see pretty damn big. 5,100 gold coming up on that. 25 minutes into the game, it looks like another inhibitor in trouble here.
That is well over average Baron power plays.
Oh yeah, that's like what, 28 to 3,200 maybe?
It's huge, you know, around 3K.
Yeah.
That is, and that's been sort of the story for this entire game. Immortals just rolling over Cloud9.
Patience indeed.
Waiting
Where
for
do they
that
decide to go?
Bottom line of supers to get up to the Nexus.
And this is the thing, is if Baron's off, it's up in 1 minute and 40 seconds, and Immortals are doing the same thing they did when they had Baron right now at Cloud9's base.
Oh, they got him.
Absolutely deleted his Huni. That's the tank on the front line to shut down Sneaky, to shut down more. The ultimate comes from the back, and Rainover really isn't taking that much damage right now.
Tanky.
He is so tanky, and they are able to keep this one clear. Ultimates are not. Immortals is staying for the long haul on this inhibitor turret.
Cloud9 catch a small reprieve there, but Immortals keep it up. They're actually going to finish the turret here.
Nexus turret's getting taken down. You can see Sneaky trying to repair that backside. Prey Seeker seeking out the prey. He gets the kill he needs. And it looks like Immortals makes their way into the base, this time stomping their feet left and right. Rush is going to take a final hit from Turtle. He's on a Bunny Fufu, even through Unbreakable. Almost takes him down. And just waiting for a minion wave here. No, Turtle's not. Never mind. He doesn't need to wait. They're onto the Nexus turrets. One's already down in Immortals, clearly in the base.
Oh, and they get it. The Quadra for Turtle.
Turtle always picking up quadras right at the end of the game, right when he doesn't even need the extra money in his pocket, but they do. And Immortals, with that money in their pocket and a huge smile on their face for the first win of the 2016 Spring Split over Cloud9.
Yeah, both Rainover and Adrian, true Immortals in that game. Neither of them dropping.
I like it. That's good. You get a freak a run for his money. But yeah, constant aggression was the name of the game. say it again. We saw the Rod of Ages. We thought it was going to be a little lackluster, and like you said, that take a break moment. Everything's a little quiet, but they kept the noise going all night long. Great game coming in. Wild Turtle as well, showing 11, 1, and 4. It's the day of 80 carries, I guess, right now. Stixxay had a very light scoreline.
Yeah, such a controlled game from Immortals. And Cloud9, they went with the riskier picks. They went with the Lee Sin plus Assassin mid laner.
Yep.
To pull that off, they really had to get something going early, try and attack a point of weakness. But with the lane swap, they were unable to get things up to speed. And Immortals just played it by the books.
Really keeping Rush down, it seemed, in the beginning. They did that a lot to just, I can't think of the word, cripple his early game. Good Lord. It's hard for words today.
I like that.
I haven't used my brain in a long time.
Did you do that because he was playing Lee Sin?
No, I didn't, but it worked fantastically. Organic things are the best things, Kobe, when they just happen. And that win just happened for Immortals. Pobelter very happy from the mid lane with a bit of TF play, something we've seen him on in the past. Controlled his lane, didn't let Jensen get out of hand, who, like we said, we were watching that lane because Jensen was on the up and up at the end of last year. Definitely an eye, or a person to keep your eye on, but did not give Pobelter too much trouble.
Yeah, Pobelter, controlling side lanes, punishing balls as soon as he pushed up too far. On the rise.
Yep.
Everybody really just playing their part for this Immortals team. Turtle did the brunt of the damage. He was the workhorse. 27,000 for him. 14 for Pobelter was the next closest.
It seems like he's completely shed off the stigma of go in or not go in. He's figured out the middle ground. Turtle he's got.
It was easy because they were
situations.
Yeah, it was easy because they were ahead. So he's
ahead.
like, I'm just gonna chase down, gun him. But yeah, definitely good play all around from them.
Yeah, you're ahead when the Rise flashes away from the 80 carry solo. You're just like, that's not supposed to happen. All right, for an inside story on that match, let's hand it off to Freak.
Yes.
Hello, I'm here with Pobelter, crushing it so far in the new season. Immortals, you guys came together so strongly. What a dominant win. Tell me what it's been like, just sort of bunch of new teammates and this team just coming together so quickly.
Well, I don't know what else to say other than, it's really good. Like, everyone's working together really well. Everyone's really experienced on how to play as a team, has a good attitude, and of course, everyone is really good. So far, it's been excellent.
Can you contrast any of this with your previous teams? Of course, you're very good on CLG. You had some other teams that had maybe less success. Like, what is it that's made Immortals start so strong so quickly?
I guess everyone is willing to compromise for each other and sort of sacrifice for each other. And that's kind of hard to find in a lot of players, I think. Like, maybe making yourself look worse for a teammate to get extra farm or something like that. But we're all on board with that.
And I gotta say, even though this team, sort of the headliners, I feel like would have been Huni and Reignover coming over from Fnatic, right? World Championship semifinalists. Like, you were maybe one of the less noticeable players on CLG. Wild Turtle got like outright flamed on TSM, but you guys are like, Turtle's like going super ham all the time and it's working. Like, you're doing really well for yourself. Like, what is it that's allowed like you as well as the rest of these individual players to like really shine?
Well, me, I think I'm just, trying to keep it solid. But in terms of Turtle, I think that he's a guy that really feeds off positive energy from his teammates. And so if his teammates are boosting him up, telling him that, he's a great player, then he'll show that in game.
Ads look great for you guys. So tell me, are you already set your sights on first place? You guys already like going to Worlds? Is this just going to, like 36-0 the dream? Is this what's going to happen for Immortals here?
Well, I said I would be happy with at least second place, but then Huni and Reino were like, hell no, we got 18-0 in Europe. We don't even want to lose a game in playoffs this time. So
I mean, it's an easier LCS being an NA. Like, this should be easy for them, right?
Yep.
All right. Pobelter, help me flaming NA. Thank you very much, man. Congrats on the win. Thank you so much for your time. And we're going to send it over to the analyst desk.
Want to know they're on their way to that 18-0 and possibly a perfect record through the playoffs, but let's slow our roll here and maybe analyze this game, which was a commanding victory by Immortals here. What I want to get into, though, was the fact that this Cho'Gath came out as the last pick. Yeah. Never in my life did I think I was going to see Cho'Gath picked up, and yet extraordinarily effective against the likes of Rise and MF.
Just a really timely pick. It punishes not just the Rise, but the entire draft, which is exactly what you want out of your last pick. It's a champion Huni has played before as well, so it was kind of the best of both worlds for Immortals. Huni has typically had a robust yet small champion pool, And this was kind of, out of the entire pool of every champion in League of Legends, like the best pick in this situation. So it's really convenient that it fit in that pool.
It really was. I was sitting there going, this is the game that if you played it in solo queue afterwards, you'd be like, who plays Cho'Gath still?
Yeah.
Like, what? It's so good, and he's played it against the Ryze. This is a situational pick. He played it against Ryze in the EU LCS, and it works against Echo. Echo dives in, silence, blow him up.
Traditionally, why it's so good, the silence is incredibly effective against Ryze because of his ultimate, against MF because of the ultimate, even against Echo because he's so reliant on getting that. Even against Lee Sin, even though he couldn't land the silence properly during the in-sec and he got kicked back a few times, technically if he played that perfectly, he would have been able to block that as well. And it just comboed so well with the rest of their damage.
Right,
Yeah.
Rupture through Brahm's Shield. I mean, he basically had all of the tools to deal with this comp that C9 built. So to a degree, it's hard to condemn Cloud9 if they're not aware of the fact that this Cho'Gath is going to come out as the last pick against their team. Now getting into the game, though, we saw the early 2 turret trades by both teams, and yet somehow, not too far beyond that point, we saw Immortals up. Reignover, 20 CS over Rush. We saw Wild Turtle at 13 minutes, 50 CS, 130 over the 81 of Sneaky. And that's kind of where these gold differentials came from all of a sudden.
For the Wild Turtle point, that was the big surprising one because Reignover, that's just the Reignover special. He did that in like every game over in Europe somehow. He had by far the largest CS differential over his opponent jungler at 20 minutes. But the Wild Turtle thing showed to me really good execution of lane swapping from Immortals, but that CS discrepancy doesn't happen unless the other team is making failures.
Yeah, and what I also looked at when I saw this composition was every time they'd lose a fight, which wasn't very often, they still had the waves shoved in. This team has a ton of wave clear in comparison. Ryze plus Echo on C9 side can't really push it back too easily when you have the likes of Cho'Gath and a Twisted Fate, which has range wave clear and pretty much instantaneous clear. So they're able to walk to lanes, use an ability, then be able to group up again. So they kept doing things like that, which would make it so that when you actually prep the wave and you would win a fight, you'd get more off of it. So I actually really like that from Immortals.
We mentioned during this game that the TSM COG one was like kind of easy for us to break down because there was very cohesive teamwork going on for COG, and you could kind of see where TSM was making their mistakes. Immortals was just everywhere.
Yeah.
Which was pretty impressive. Very quick win.
Right, yeah, an extraordinarily quick win. We did also, though, recognize that the Lee Sin plays, although not effective early, were relatively effective late. If it weren't for a 12K gold difference, we actually might have seen some 1 fights there for Cloud9. So really quickly, if we did have to break down the Cloud9 play, maybe 1 or 2 of their failures, it may have been lack of presence by the Lee Sin early since he was sacrificing the farm. And then, of course, giving themselves a composition that couldn't really stack up early and therefore having to concede a lot of objectives.
Yeah, they ended up getting counterpicked as well, though, by the Cho'Gath. And that's the thing, is you can't really expect the Cho'Gath to be locked into your team, and then he just screams all over your team.
Right.
So. Yeah. Reignover out-jungled Rush early. That hurt the pressure of Lee Sin to be able to impact the lanes, which needed the help. Lee Sin into a Rek'Sai is always dangerous. So.
Yeah, very much so if you're not making plays. Well, keep it tuned right here because after this, we'll head back onto the Rift for Team Dignitas versus Energy Esports. You're watching the North American LCS coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. Don't go anywhere.
Every game on Gravity, before the game, we would just go like this at the top of our lungs.
Sneaky!
Why? I don't know.
Who made that song? Bonnie or Sneaky?
That wasn't me.
Really?
Yep.
I don't believe it. It must be
It
Sneaky.
was not me. I would never make such a dumbass sound.
Here for Cloud9. Are they going to get caught, though?
Oh, they're trying to put their foot down.
Oh, juicy.
I don't think it's gonna work. There's the scream across the team, and that's going to be Bunny Fufu. Zeke and Adrian have a way to run. They already took down Huni, though, looking pretty good. Balls comes in with the ultimate on, and they try to focus back onto him. Oh. Here's the ultimate from Sneaky.
Rush. Let's go, Dash.
Help me. I'm fighting.
Let's go Dash side.
Ultimate Adrian with a huge play. Pomelzer goes down, and Jensen dives in melee range. He goes down himself. Turtle got 3 in the light slinger, but he can't get the range. And Immortals, the first win of the 2016 Spring Split over Cloud9.